There were reasons, you know, as far as at that time the European situation was not good, you know.
When the pogroms started, they decided that the best thing to do would be to leave the country.
Who wants to go into the army? So to avoid the draft, many of them left at that time.
We didn't decide, we couldn't decide anything, we were just running.
The Russian Revolution with 20 million people, they took you out and they shot you.
We took the opportunity and we did, we grabbed it, we came to America.
So that's the way we started on our trip to Antwerp. We went through several countries. My mother and I got to Antwerp. It took us about 3 or 4 months to make the journey.
You know, the whole world was going in, and you had to wait 6 months for your passport until it came to your turn. From there we went to Antwerp, Belgium. We were in Antwerp for about 3-4 weeks in the barracks.
From Belgium we spent a week there, we had to go through quarantine and all that. We stayed in a nice hotel because the ship company takes care of all that.
Yeah, I said goodbye to everybody, and they all cried. My grandmother cried, and they all said goodbye. That was the last time I saw them.
Well, that was a happy day to get on finally. It was a slow boat. We went through the English Channel. As soon as they started going out there to the open sea there, everybody was singing and dancing, and all of a sudden, boom. Then everybody got sick except me.
We were third class, the cheapest ticket you could get.
We were right down in the bottom. Couldn't go any lower. That's how we came across in steerage. We couldn't afford anything else, and we were lucky to have that.
Very, very crowded. You know, they used to have these bunks, one on top of the other. But everybody was so glad to get out of Europe and come to America that this didn't matter to them.
And the food, I didn't know of any food. Whatever they served, I ate.
The staple foods that we ate for the 3 meals in the day were fairly substantial. We ate quite a bit.
This was not a boat that traveled 6 days or 7 days. This was a boat that traveled 14, 18 days at that time.
You had no room to breathe down there in the hold. We were lying or sitting around, shoulder to shoulder, back to back.
I lived on deck all the time, you know, and, because it was impossible in steerage to. As young as I was, it wasn't comfortable at all.
It wasn't pleasant, but it was still much better what I went through during the war.
Of course, the last day when they saw the Statue of Liberty and they saw this beautiful land, they forgot all about how bad steerage was.
Whoever was there, and I want to tell you, and I'm not exaggerating, whoever wasn't about it going to the United States were happy.
a feeling of euphoria that I don't think I've ever witnessed in my life. Oh, they were cheering and laughing and hugging and kissing and everything.
As we got off, all the children got little American flags.
The people in third class in the steerage had to wait until we got to the island before they could be examined and processed.
You know, we all had to be inoculated on board ship. We had to get shots for smallpox before we got off.
Well, when we got over there, we had these lines to go through, and they would sign you in and then designate where you're supposed to go. My brother couldn't speak a word of English, so they'd put a sign on you, and you'd have the badge.
Well, I was very happy to be there, although it was jammed, more jammed than the boat. And my father had to come back a second day because they didn't reach his number the first day.
Pretty soon a man with a long coat came over and took my mother into a compartment, and she was examined there. So was my dad examined, and I was too.
My mother was getting ready to go back with me to Europe if they ever sent me back. But they passed me. That was, we were shaken, all of us.
And I worried for my mother because she was older. If they would send my mother back, I would go with her.
They were very, very particular about at that time. Many women were sent back, many men were sent back. And everybody cried if somebody was sent back and, somebody was left here. And then when you got through with all the doctors, you first had to go through an examination of what is your name and who you're going to and are you going to be picked up and is somebody going to guarantee that you'll be all right.
After we passed the inspection, there was a boat that took us to New York.
When we went off the boat from Ellis Island, of course, there were hundreds of other families, and that they used to greet. That was the place that the families used to wait.
It was exciting. I was excited for every little thing I saw there.
Are you happy that you came here? Oh, yes.
I'm a very, very happy person and happy man to be in this wonderful country. And I hope that everybody else feels that way too, that comes to this country.